that. Copy that. I want you to be careful out there. You're in a highly charged electrostatic magnetic environment. You do not know the effects it may have on your cognition or motor skills. The longer you stay, the more dangerous it is.
Roger that. I'm hearing a low hum. Do you hear that?
What's going on out there? Come in. That's it. Of course. I'm not kidding. Get out of there.
You okay?
Yeah, Dad. I'm good.
You sure you're okay?
Aww, you're scared, my baby brother.
Hey, I'm just watching out for you. The discharge is not as significant as I expected, but I don't want to stay here longer than we need to. Let's stay in communication and use your headsets.
Test 1, test 2.
Holding you to tie his shoes.
Really? Dad?
Come on, guys. Kate, go and see if the superloop turbine is operational. Holden, keep an eye out. Maybe, if we can get this thing to rotate.
It was supposed to be the forever engine.
Now it's just one big time bomb.
But Dad, Holden, think. If we could reanimate it.
Oh, keep dreaming, sis. Kids! I'm sure used to dismantle it. Right, and then we're out of here.
Hey, wait. What's this?
Wait, don't! Oh, great. Now you've done it.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello, my name is Dr. Ruth Skinner. I'm the lead scientist and biomedical officer for Superloop Power. Today there's been an accident. Electrotoxins escape from the generator. They have a severe effect on the neural pathways of the brain. Those affected become psychotic and extremely dangerous. We recommend that we establish and maintain a 2-kilometre radius around the generator. Someone is going to have to come back and run this thing on full power. It's the only way to reverse it. You've got to hurry back! Mum, I really miss her.
I know you do, Pumpkin. I miss her too.
Look! There's somebody up there!
Hey! Don't jump! No! No! What is wrong with them? They've been poisoned by electrotoxins, making them bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, and crazy insane! Holden, behind you!
What's happened?
Good, stay there! Holden, up and over!
Come on! Oh!
superloop, it would stabilise this whole area. In fact, this spot would be the safest place on Earth.
Do you really think we could get it to rotate?
I think so, but we need to generate enough speed.
It's too dangerous, and I don't like the natives.
Ooh, big tough brother, scared of a few little punks?
Hey, I can take you any day of the week.
Oh yeah?
Stop it, both of you. If we could get the superloop to work, the bomb threat would be neutralised, and it could reverse the effects of the electrotoxins. I've got an idea, but we need to locate the original instigator. It's like a key that starts the turbine. Whoa! And hurry!
What's happened?
Hey, I'm not the all-county fencing champion for nothing, you know.
Great. Sister Zora.
I'm fine, Dad. I'm okay. But we really need to find that instigator people.
Okay! Whoa!